Now we come to the symbolic aspect of the Brookyln Bridge, and to look at the symbolic aspect, I will touch upon just 3 artists that were stimulated by this bridge, although there are many more. John Marin was an American modern artist of the early 1900s who's known for his abstract landscapes and watercolors. Marin sees this bridge as a dance, and a few years ago when David Billington was here with his son was actually inspired to dance as well. So we see his son jumping as he's crossing this elevated walkway of the Brookyln Bridge. Another artist that was inspired by the Brookyln Bridge is Joseph Stella, who sees the city through the bridge. Stella is an Italian-born American painter best known for his depictions of industrial America, especially his images of the Brookyln Bridge. In this painting, the Brookyln Bridge, he sees 3 components of the city in a Dante-esque way. The subway is Inferno, the streets and deck are Purgatory, the cables are Paradise, and the bridge expresses these emotions. The theme of Stella's painting is seeing the city through the bridge, seeing the culture through engineering, and one of his most famous is a set of 5 paintings called New York Interpreted. Finally, we'll look at Hart Crane, who's not a painter but a poet. Hart Crane sees the nation through the bridge. In the 1920s, one of the most famous poets, T.S. Eliot, wrote The Wasteland, which is a very depressing poem. And Hart Crane, who's a controversial poet, responded with The Bridge, which is a more optimistic and lyrical view. Author Alan Trachtenberg's interpretation of the bridge is this. He says, quote, "Brookyln Bridge lay at the end of the poet's journey, the pledge of a cognizance that would explain and redeem history. To reach the bridge, to attain its understanding, the poet suffered the travail of hell, but he emerges unscathed and ascends the span. The entire action implies a steady optimism that no matter how bad history may be, the bridge will reward the struggle richly." Hart Crane lived for many years in Brookyln, and an eerie coincidence is that he actually lived in the same place that Washington Roebling lived while he was paralyzed and looked out the window at the construction of the Brookyln Bridge. 100 years later, in 1983, a centennial celebration was held with fireworks. Similar to when it opened, we had fireworks. 100 years later, there were fireworks. Many people were there to celebrate this landmark bridge, and many people didn't understand the significance or the history of the bridge as you now understand it, but they know it was an important bridge. It was a Roebling family effort, John Roebling, Washington Roebling, and Emily Roebling, that made this bridge a reality. But it was John Roebling's vision, dream, and perseverance that made it a technical and a symbolic success. That concludes an abbreviated study of the Brookyln Bridge, but I definitely encourage you to read more about this. This is not just a technical story of a bridge, but it's a story that demonstrates the perseverance of not only a family, but of a community of builders. In the next lecture, we stay in New York City and study other iconic bridges of the area, bridges that transformed communities and also set bridge design trends across the nation. I hope you'll join us.